Hello, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural La Sala Salon with me, your host, Ryan La Sala. Can you all, ghosts, spectral audiences, I call upon you. Can you hear me? Can you hear my voice? Am I loud and clear? All right, we're going to take that as a yes. If you guys can't hear me, I'm going to have to know that at some point. But I feel tonight the powers are strong, the veil is thin, and I'm ready to be inspired. So a few quick things before we at the salon begin. First and foremost, we have a zero tolerance policy for any prejudice or discrimination of any sort. I will be moderating the chat, the ghoulish chat of my psychic powers, and if I see any energies or vibes that I do not approve, you will be blocked from attending all future salons. Second, we look to foster a vibe of inspiration and fun, but please keep in mind that we are a young adult authorship, and we would like to keep it that way. So if there are any inappropriate comments, I'll be looking out for those as well. And lastly, please let your friends know the salons are going to be a monthly gathering. The guests shall rotate. There will be a few constants, and there will always be costumes. So we would love to create a little culture around the salon, and we're so excited to have you. So without further ado, I hear some knocking at the door. Let me go see who's here. 1 second. Oh, wow. Goodness gracious. Is that, oh, you scared me. I couldn't believe it. I thought.
It's a lion. And then it's also a second lion.
A lion on the back. Goodness gracious. Oh, welcome to
Ryan.
my home. It is so good to see you, Phil. Will you please give a quick introduction?
Yeah, I'm Phil Stamper. I'm not sure I have enough. I'm not sure I have enough whimsy for this event. I'm trying to build it. I am the author of The Gravity of Us and As Far as You'll Take Me, which these beautiful spines here. And I am ready to have some fun here.
Hold on 1 second. I think someone else is at the door. Knock,
another
knock.
guest.
It sounds like Zoraida Córdova. Oh, how exciting!
I did not see this coming.
Goodness. Welcome, Zoraida. It's so good to have you back. Would you please give a quick introduction?
Yes, my name is Zoraida Córdova, but since I am currently in Puerto Rico, it is Zoraida Córdova. And I am the author of Labyrinth Lost and Illusionary.
Ooh, which comes out when?
May 11th.
Good, very good. Oh, hold on 1 second. I'm knocking on everything. I hear another knock at the door. Oh, and let me go see who it is. I know that originally Claribel A. Ortega was supposed to be here, but I know that upon their journey here, they were abducted by a circus. Tyra Banks' circus-themed photo shoot. So they won't be making it, but someone's here still. Who could it be? Let's let them in. Our surprise guest.
No.
What is that?
This is Bartholomew.
It's Mark Oshiro!
The cinnamon roll, aka I am Mark Oshiro, young adults, actual human cinnamon roll. And this is a real stuffed cinnamon roll that I got.
That's adorable.
Its name is Bartholomew. Please respect Bartholomew.
What are Bartholomew's pronouns?
They just like me.
Just like me. Oh, Mark, and Mark, tell us about a book that you've written recently and where we can find it.
You can find it in your local boudoir if you're. I'm the author of Anger is a Gift, and then this book, Each of Us a Desert, and many
Beautiful
more
books
that are coming out at points in time.
Incredible. Well, thank you all for being here. Oh, it is just so good to have a small, intimate meeting of just 4 people and close to 100 ghosts.
that's how
I feel their presence. I feel it.
Yeah, do you?
They're
very. I don't know if you can hear the calls, the ghostly wailing, but they're very active. In the chat, they're dialing in from all over.
I can't wait to rewatch this and just relive your introduction, Ryan.
Yeah, that was unforgettable. Unforgivable.
Unforgivable.
I have been called many things on Goodreads.com, but unforgivable is not one of them.
Well, here you go. It's a new day.
It's the other Nat King Cole song.
Okay, all right. Hey, listen. Tell me, how have you all been? The Salon is here to energize inspiration. So how have you been in your creative life, and what are you looking to get out of our evening of inspiration and illumination together?
Pick one of us.
I don't know about all of you. I would like to be uncreative for the next 90 minutes. I'm tired of being creative. What is the opposite of creative? Destructive?
Consumptive.
Ooh, that sounds like a disease.
No, that's like
consumption.
Consumption. That was okay.
That.
I'll go for consumption on a Thursday night.
Isn't that what you get in the 1920s in like Ireland, like Angela?
When you like cough into a bandage and there's blood,
like the Moulin Rouge.
Sabine.
Rest in peace.
Thing I'm looking forward to. Even just like that.
Ewan McGregor is the only actor or the only character who has lost a girl named Satine in a movie twice. No spoilers for the Clone Wars, Star Wars, whatever. I'm fired.
I did not know that.
I also love that you said no spoilers after you just spoiled it.
That's how that works. It's like a Men in Black pen. You just like
undo
the thing.
Control Z.
Yeah. Well, I know that we don't want to feel too creative or inspiring tonight. Unfortunately, as an offering to the ghosts and to the muse, we do have some required reading. So I am led to believe, through no coordination of my own, everyone prepared a reading to celebrate.
Sure.
So why don't we ease into that?
Prepared is a stretch.
Ease into is also a stretch.
Well, I'll set us up with a little bit of introduction, and Zoraida, you're on deck, so we're gonna have you do your reading first. And I can't wait to see what you've chosen to bring us, what you're offering.
Okay.
But our theme this month, it is March. In like a lion, out like a lamb. So I think someone has a costume change coming up in Act 2. I don't know who it is. It could be any one of us. But it's me. And so all of our readings have to do with lions or with lambs or something in the middle of those two things. So yeah, I personally can't wait. I know that this is going to be a really lovely experience for all of us to share.
You said I'm on deck, right?
Yeah, Zoraida, you're gonna go first. We'll do Zoraida, Phil, myself, and then we're gonna have Mark, who I know is famous for their readings, go last.
Yeah. Excellent. I'm not going to give you any preamble as to what this is. You should know probably because it's pretty famous. But I don't think anyone has read the full thing in a while. So I'll go.
Okay. I'm excited.
He met my eyes again, and they were surprisingly tender. And for all that, he continued, I'd have fared better if I had exposed us all at that first moment than if now here with no witnesses and nothing to stop me, I were to hurt you. I was human enough to ask, why? Isabella. He pronounced my full name carefully, then playfully ruffled my hair with his free hand. A shock ran through my body at his casual touch. Bella, if I couldn't live with myself, if I ever hurt you, you don't know how it's tortured me. He looked down, ashamed. The thought of you still white, which she already is, cold, to never see you blush scarlet, to never see that flash of intuition in your eyes when you see through my pretenses, it would be unendurable. He lifted his glorious, agonizing eyes to mine. You are the most important thing to me now, the most important thing to me ever. My head was spinning at the rapid-fire change in the direction of our conversation. From the cheerful topic of my imminent, impending demise, we were suddenly declaring ourselves. He waited. Even though I looked down to study our hands between us, I knew his golden eyes were on me. You already know how I feel, of course, I finally said. Here, which roughly translated to, I would rather die than stay away from you. I frowned. I am an idiot. You are an idiot, he agreed with a laugh. Our eyes met and I laughed too. He laughed. We laughed together at the idiocy and sheer impossibility of such a moment. And so the lion fell in love with the lamb, he murmured. I looked away, hiding my eyes as I thrilled to the word. What a stupid lamb, I sighed. What a sick, masochistic lion. He stared into the shadowy forest for a long time, and I wondered where his thoughts had taken him. Why, I began, and then paused, not sure how to continue. He looked to me and smiled. Sunlight glinted off his face, his teeth. Scene.
Wow. That
Sorry, what
beautiful.
Was that from?
Yeah, I couldn't place it. Oh. That was...
It is, of course, from the seminal Twilight by Stephenie Meyer.
The font, the fountain through which all things ebb and flow, Twilight, to which we owe all things.
That's why we're all here.
That was I forgot how like beautiful some of the writing is in Twilight, you know? Some of it. A lot of it.
I think that's one of the lines that I have. One of my best friends is a Twihard. I really love those movies, ironically, they're, and she has a lion and lamb little trinket, but for a period of time, I had the official wolf and diamond pendant from, I forgot if it was New Moon or Eclipse, but I definitely own that.
Wow.
So you were into like a little bit of the whole Jacob action then?
I love Jacob, even though I knew like Stephenie Meyer would never have chosen him for her main character.
Right.
Interesting.
I think it was interesting hearing that again, because like we talk a lot in like, in Kid Lit about like the importance of representation on the page, and I just had never seen my flirting style represented so faithfully in fiction.
What's
the style?
What's
awkward?
The style?
Yeah, like
how dare you, Zoraida? Which one of us?
That's true. Oh my God! Are you not single anymore?
No, I'm very single.
God,
I'm very confused.
I use as many natural creatures as possible in my euphemisms when I am flirting or entertaining the men, if you will.
Give us like a pickup line. Give us like a Mark Oshiro hook. What's gonna get us? Yeah.
Did you see that moment of regret pass over my face where I'm like, oh, so I think it doesn't just have to be like a natural creature. There has to be two of them that are like diametrically opposed.
Yeah, right.
Like definitely like hunter and prey. So like,
yeah.
Like a classic one. I like using like an anteater and an anthill. I think that the visual innuendo is regret even more than actual.
I'm so sorry that I asked this.
Yeah, and I think because this is a wild event, I should cease giving more examples of what. I shouldn't say that either. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
It's good.
So what are everyone's like actual feelings on Twilight? Can we talk about it? Because
flirting?
Yeah, that's
we're done flirting
right now.
I've got a pickup line.
Sure it wasn't.
I'll do an animal pickup line.
You do it.
Okay.
Like, this is completely not going to make sense, but like,
makes perfect sense.
Oh,
already.
I couldn't help but see you glowing like a phosphorescent plankton across the bar. Lucky for you, I am a female anglerfish, and I've digested a dark lining to my intestinal tract so that the consumption of glowing morsels doesn't reveal me from the inside out to my prey.
No!
Always goes back to the anglerfish.
Yeah, that's the one animal I know well. That's the only one. That's the marine biology fact I've got going.
I'm pretty sure that when I saw Ryan's costume of the anglerfish, I was like, "This is my platonic true love."
Can we get a cameo from the angler?
No, it's like pinned. I'm not. It's mounted on my wall.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's up there.
I have to ask Ryan, were you like really good at marine biology? Like, were you interested in it at one time? Or
I'm just terrified. I'm terrified of the ocean, and I tend to research things that scare me.
Yes, as we should.
Like
the deep ocean is
the deep ocean's horrifying.
You have to respect the sea. You have to respect the sea.
Yeah.
You gotta respect the sea. Wait, back to those questions. What are people's thoughts on Twilight? I do want to talk about this reading a little bit more. I feel like you brought something really supple to the Salon, and I think we have to tear it apart.
I mean, it is not a bad passage. Like, obviously it's fun to make fun of because it's so over dramatic, and like the symbolism there is funny, like objectively funny, but also like, I don't know, she kind of paved the way for that kind of, I don't know,
that like dynamic.
Yeah, it's that. I know it's that dynamic, which is kind of troublesome, but like it's also just like that way of writing, of like really getting the like emotions and like the, I don't know, the raw feeling of like, we shouldn't be in love, but we are.
Yeah.
And like, that's just such a YA feeling that it's like, you know, she did it, and she did it well.
She did it
in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a long moment. I don't know that it was a moment.
It was a moment. One of the things that I spent a lot of time last summer thinking about Twilight, because I'm the co-editor of a vampire anthology called Vampires Never Get Old, of which Mark Oshiro is a contributor of. And Mark actually chose Twilight for their episode on the Vampires Never Get Old podcast. And so we actually did 2 Twilight episodes. We did one with Julie Murphy, who was like a seminal Twihard, and like it influenced Julie to write books. And then we did an episode with Mark, who had like different opinions, but then like it launched Mark to read stuff, right?
That's a nice summary of I just have different, but you know what? It's funny because Ryan, you're like, oh, this is the reason we're here. It literally is the reason I have anything, is because I read Twilight and didn't know what it was like 12 years ago. And then started this whole thing of reading and reacting to things. So like, even if I don't like, I have 2 thoughts in my head, which is I'm not a fan of the Twilight books. The other thought, because I only have 2 thoughts in my head ever. Like, can handle it. But the other is I can also sit here and recognize, like, yeah, I don't get to do what I do without that. Like, I just don't. And I don't know that I would be interested in the way that I am. I will say that Bella's dad is the best part of the series, because he's just so straight in just the funniest way. Like in like a delightfully straight way, because we gotta have like a delightful straight every once in a while. It's nice to have that.
I've always been Team Charlie, especially in the movies.
I love Charlie.
Absolutely in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
I have to confess, I've never seen the last too, or the last one, the Breaking
Me
Dawn.
neither. I've never seen any of the like final ones.
Okay. The final one is the best one because there's a definitive plot that they added it because it wasn't in the books. I remember sitting in the
There is no plot in the last book.
I know they added it, and so I remember sitting in the theater and I screamed because I was like, "Oh my god! What just happened? Like you did it! You can't do that!" And then obviously, whatever happened. But Mark, you need to watch it.
Okay, so you have to watch it at least once. Like just
I'm with you. I want to watch. I don't even know where to get it.
Happened, like you're just like, oh, I have two thoughts, and sometimes they're not Twilight. So
it's a pandemic. You have time.
Yeah.
You had time to hop into the salon. You have time to watch Twilight.
Since Clarabelle's place is being used against me.
Yeah.
That is inspiring, though. That is the energy.
Oh, Mark, I think Clarabelle's watching Twilight right now. You better go usurp her right the second. All right. I think we are ready for another reading? Any other thoughts on Twilight before we move to Phil?
I mean, plenty of thoughts on Twilight, but we don't have to share them here.
We can always come back to it.
What?
They're not werewolves. There's no werewolves. There's no werewolves in Twilight.
Why not? Wait, what?
They're not werewolves.
If you haven't actually read Breaking Dawn in a really long time, you should go back and reread it because towards the end, Stephanie Meyer reveals that they're actually shapeshifters, and it's only because the dude got lost and saw a wolf and thought the wolf looked cool that he chose wolves for the entirety of their shapeshifting. So if he had been like going through the forest and was like, that beaver built a bitchin' dam, they would have been werebeavers. Like, they're not werewolves. And I remember
that beaver built a bitchin'. That's going to be the theme of the May Salon. It's going to be that beaver built a bitchin' dam.
It broke me because I was like, this is both the best and worst thing I've ever read. Like, worst in that sense of like, how do you break your own canon? Like, so terribly. But then also I was just like, but it's kind of cool. Like, you just chose to be wolves? Hell yeah!
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to choose to be, yeah, of course.
So what animal would you choose?
Yeah, what animal?
Ooh,
if I were a shapeshifter?
If I were a shapeshifter, I would want different animals for different purposes. If I'm going to like, traipse around in like in a very, I want people to like adore me and think I'm cute, but then maybe be slightly scared of me. I would want to be a pine marten, like a weird pine marten.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to shapeshift into Ryan La Sala.
I honestly would, just so that I could bench press something.
That's the reason you just to bench press?
Yeah, because Ryan does that.
I bench press lots of things.
You can bench press things, Zoraida, now.
I can't.
Yes, you could.
My arms are really weak.
I mean, so are mine. Look at that! You just best.
There it is. There it is.
There you go.
It works.
Yeah, you did it.
What is a pine marten?
A pine marten is like.
Yeah, I've been waiting for someone to explain.
It's close to a weasel, but cuter. If you've ever seen his Dark Materials, Pan.
Oh,
yes. That is like in the same family. It's like they look like that. They're very cute. They're like cuter ferrets. But they're vicious, and they will
they are cute.
Shit out snakes and like attack them.
Okay.
Yeah, look at them.
Oh my god, look at them.
They're so. But then they can be very fierce. So that's what I would love to be.
I can just hear Pan being like, "Lyra, stop kissing that boy. It will kill God."
I mean,
which is the plot. That is the plot of Dark Materials, right?
Dark Materials in one sentence. Yep, there you go.
Yeah. I think I would choose a New York City, specifically a New York City rat, because
they have a great life.
They're immortal.
They bench press pizza all the time.
They can bench press too. Yeah, oh my god,
that is a powerful animal. That's my most powerful mythical beast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What about the ball of rats that everyone's like is under New York City? There's like a ball of rats, like the super rat.
Where they're all connected by their tails.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be that. I'll be a
yeah, you're now the ball of rats.
I'm a rat ball. Actually, no.
Zoraida is a ball of rats.
I'm gonna change your banner icon to now speaking ball of rats. Zoraida.
By the way, Zoraida, do you know what it is called?
What?
A collection of rats whose tails are intertwined and bound together by one of several possible mechanisms is called a rat king. So you would be a rat king.
Okay.
Wait, woo! Rat king!
Cool. There's images. Don't Google it.
No,
absolutely not. We need to look. Now that we've gotten to ball of rats, I think we need to move on. I think the salon is ready to keep going.
I just want to say that I would be a fox.
That's
a fox.
Throwing it out there, yes, because they're
Foxes
cute,
cool.
they're fun, and they're fast.
We're foxes.
I'm not fast. What?
They're cute.
We're fox is a good word. We're fox.
Yeah, we're fox. Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely. Phil, I know that you've got a reading for us. Will you do us the honors?
I sure do. Thankfully, mine's short, so yeah. Well, so I want to see if anyone can really understand why this was chosen by the gods. We'll say for me.
Ghosts. Let's hear it.
This is a nice Q&A section for all of you. What an amazing time. What a family. How did the years go by? Now it's only me. Tick tock, 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 tick tock. La 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 la. Like a cat stuck in heat. No, sorry. Like a cat in heat stuck in a moving car. A scary conversation. Shut my eyes. Can't find the brake. What if they say that you're a climber? Naturally, I'm worried if I do it alone. Who really cares? Because it's your life. You never know. It could be great. Take a chance, because you might grow. Oh. What you waiting? What you waiting? What you waiting? What you waiting for? And then some more of that. Take a chance, you stupid hell. And scene. Now, can anyone tell me why this would fit the theme of Lamb Lion? Because it's going to be a real long time.
I think because in many different iterations, stupid hoe refers to each of us.
Well, yes, that does fit the chat for sure. No, obviously my husband is on it immediately. I didn't tell him.
I was going to say Jonathan got it immediately.
Yeah. The initial is LAMB.
Is that album? I think Mark, I think you're onto something. I think all of us in our lives are at some point the stupid hoe, right? Like the naive lamb, but we have like a Gwen Stefani in the background saying like, take that chance. Like the lion of ambition is being foisted upon sort of the natural predisposition of creatives as sort of like a lamb status, right? And so like it's that duality that exists in all of us: the lion, the lamb, Gwen Stefani, and the stupid hoe. It's like Phil's leaving.
Yeah, you keep going. I'm just gonna get a little more wine.
He's like, I need more wine. It's a dyad, okay? It is an emotional dyad. I don't know what that means, but I know that a lot of the Star Wars people use it when it comes to Reylo.
I know what a dyad.
What is emotional dyad? Does anyone know what I don't know what an emotional dyad. So two.
Yeah.
Two. Yeah, I got that.
A dyad in the Force, like something that it's like two elements, right?
A dyad in the Force and the Force.
Yeah, like I'm speaking specifically about the Force in the Force of Star Wars.
Sure.
I don't know much about the Wars of the Stars. Unfortunately, so I'm getting kind of lost.
Okay, the theory of the dyad is that it's like two people. They can be romantically linked, or it could be like a family thing, or like partners in crime. I don't know any other examples of them, but it's attributed to Reylo quite a bit.
Okay,
interesting. What I want to get back to with this reading is the cat in heat.
Stuck in heat. Because
they're in a moving car. Yeah. So let's unpack that. What's the cat doing in heat? What's the cat doing in an automobile? Who's driving the car? Is it the cat?
Definition of what a cat in heat is, or are you just we're accepting that and moving?
Let's accept it and move on. Because I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's obviously like a metaphor for the daily grind, I guess. You know,
Okay.
We're all stuck in that moving car.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to drive.
Oh, we have 2 non-drivers here.
Yeah.
I don't drive.
I've never had a driver's license in my entire life.
Me neither.
I haven't driven in a few years, but
being gay. I'm like the supreme.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gay. I can't like legally drive. It's not allowed.
I'm from New York, and I've never needed a driver's license because you just take the bus and the subway everywhere.
Yeah.
And I find that I will always find someone to drive me somewhere.
That's manipulative.
And very powerful. Love it. Love that for you.
That's pathological.
I mean, when I was in college, I had a truck, and a lot of people used to manipulate me there too, because if you're the only one of your people like in a group of friends who has a truck, you're screwed because you're just moving everyone or loaning it away.
I need to make this is the night of confessions. I cannot imagine you driving a truck at all. I need to like.
Can you wait? Like, what would it look like? I want to see. Phil, turn to the side and pretend to drive.
Are you too tall for a truck?
Oh, my arm out the window.
With the arm. Wow.
Look at this transformation that's happening now. This is a transformative space.
Liminal. We're in a liminal space.
We are. The boundary between worlds is very thin.
The veil is pierced.
To be fair,
that was incredible.
Truck, so it was actually kind of just cute. It was a cute
truck.
I could see Phil driving like a very tiny sedan. Like I don't like. There's nothing to me that's more Phil Stamper than
in a sedan.
But like I'm imagining you like folding like a daddy long legs to get inside of it. Yeah, right. Like I could see that.
It's much cooler like this.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, I would absolutely have manipulated you in high school to be like, I need a ride because my parents are dead. And you'd be like, you're a YA character, jump in.
Come on.
Yes, absolutely.
No, the thing, I would have been like so desperate for, friendship. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I'll drive you anywhere. Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's go to another state.
Let's go. Yeah.
Let's go to another state. Let's leave the country. Man, well, that was look, I actually, on the topic of Gwen Stefani, I will say that song was popular when I was in high school. And I actually do remember driving home from swim practice, and that song was on the radio. And that I was like thinking about like what I wanted to like do with my life, as one does after swim practice, in like the middle of like February in Connecticut. And the line like "Take a chance, you stupid hoe," like spoke to me. And was like the thing that like got me to like, not like the thing, but like was part of the many things that sort of prompted me on like the journey of becoming like a professional creative person.
Just like taking the only chances. Thing? Like you had never thought about it.
Honestly, it's the thing that I remember the most. So
just commit to that. It makes the story, but just from now on, that is the moment.
But it was. I was like, I'm stupid hoe. And then I thought to myself, I was like, as like the years went on and I became a like creative person, I was like, if I can be the Gwen Stefani at like a high school and I can look some like child in the eye and be like, take that chance, you stupid hoe, I've done my job.
Go ahead. Are you gonna?
I was gonna talk about how when I listened to Gwen Stefani, I listened to Gwen Stefani before she went solo, and so like. I had the pre-Gwen Stefani, which Mark probably had, like, we had the same experience because we're a little bit older than you guys.
Wait, do you mean No Doubt? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, so it's interesting, too, because I grew up in the Inland Empire in California, which is right next to Orange County. So I've only seen No Doubt twice live, and the first time was at this tiny place called the Showcase Theater in Corona, like a week or two. I don't remember the exact date, but it was like right around when Tragic Kingdom came out. And it's this tiny club that it's all standing room. It maybe fits 200 people. And that was the last time any human being could ever see them in a place that small because Tragic Kingdom blew up. And it was so amazing. You're our local like ska, punk, reggae band. No one knows who you are outside of here. And then like a month later, it was like, oh, never mind. We'll never see you again.
I like that you're just highlighting my husband's messages.
Your husband's a funny man.
He's providing great commentary.
Yeah. Should we move on to the next read? I believe I'm up next.
I think we should.
Yes, I would love to see what you're reading, Ryan.
Okay. All right. Okay. I got the job to pay for my tuition. It was pretty easy for me to get hired since cats naturally already like me because I'm part cat. And if you're going to work with cats, it would be best if they liked you. Plus, I also brought my signature brownies, and they were a big hit. They're actually on the menu now. I giggled, ooh, like the U-W-U, as I watched, ooh, you know, like ooh, ooh, right.
Okay.
No, I giggled as I watched Marie fall over trying to look up at one of the waitresses until I heard the door chime open. I turned back to my washing up and cleaned the 2 last plates, half-heartedly listening in on my friends who worked at the till. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to Cafe Philly Day. Would you like a table for... I heard her suddenly stall for a second. I perked up my cat ears, intrigued. I heard her cough weakly before repeating herself, albeit shakier than before. Table for 2, then? What's up with her? I thought to myself, putting the last plate on the drying rack, still trying to listen in on what was happening out there. That would be great, thanks. I heard a strong masculine voice chime out. A tiny spark lit up in my brain as I heard him.
Of a strong masculine voice.
Shh.
Can we do that
I
again?
recognized it from somewhere. I just couldn't put my finger on it.
Reminding.
We'll get. There's more lines, guys. Just wait.
Okay, right.
Listening in harder, I heard a waitress shuffle over while the other workers just stood and whispered. Something was definitely up. I tried to be professional and just waited for the customer's order. A few minutes passed and a soft knock on the kitchen counter brought me out of my daze. A waitress smiled and clipped the order into the railing. 2 seared cod, 1 curly fries, and 1 chonky fries. To table 2, please. A smile spread across my face as I heard the order. Not many people order actual meals from this cafe, mainly because they come here expecting snacks or sweets. I'd call this place a restaurant if it weren't so small. I washed my hands one more time and got to work. 20 or so minutes later, I placed the 2 cod on top of a pea puree. We're in a cat cafe, I just want you to remember that. And dollop some homemade tartar sauce on the side before finally shoveling the curly fries and chips into separate bowls. With a quick ding of the bell, the waitress swiftly went from the door and picked up the dishes, neatly resting them both on both arms, looking up at me with a grin on her face. You won't believe who's here, she whispered excitedly. I tilted my head in confusion with a furrowed brow. Just like that. She giggled and shook her head. Just wait. And with that, she practically bounced out the door. I tried peering through the slight gap she left, but I didn't manage to get a good look before the door eventually closed. Going back to clean up my mess, I couldn't help but wonder, who was eating my food? Pointing my ears back towards the door, I tried my best to listen in. I scrunched up my face in hopes it would make me concentrate more. And like magic, it worked. I started hearing muffled voices. There was a man and what sounded like a young girl. Oh, fucking hell! I finally heard. My heart sank and my ears dropped. Did I do something wrong? My thoughts became fuzzy, and I waited for the waitress to come back in with barely eaten plates and later on being given a week's notice. Minutes passed, and the waitress didn't come. I could hear my heart thump aggressively in my cute little Neko ears until I was jolted back to reality by the door creaking open. Who cooked this fish? I heard the same male voice from before. I winced and slowly turned around, putting my hands up weakly. I did, sir. I looked up, and my jaw dropped in both awe and fear. Gordon Ramsay? That's the end of the reading.
What is happening? What is happening?
I didn't see it coming.
There's more to the story. I just want to credit. This is from Daddy Muffin on Wattpad.
Okay, so this is
I was
cat
so close.
cat cafe, cat person, Gordon Ramsay fanfic.
Yes, it's
That's
like a
what
lot.
I
Yeah.
wrote Cat Daddy. I wrote Cat Daddy while you were reading. I should have.
I took copious notes.
Did you?
Me too.
Guys, there are chapters of this, so if you loved the taste that I just
my
gave you,
God.
there's like probably 90 or so more pages of this.
Let's discuss, because I wanted to start with that line about actual food, and then the food that was listed is a meal no humans ever had.
Say more about this.
It was, what was it? Seared cod.
Yeah.
Seared
cod
on
like
peas.
Pea puree. Yeah, pea puree
with,
and then tartar sauce
with
curly
fries
with chunky fries.
And chunky fries. 2 separate orders.
One big order for Gordon.
Of chunky
kind of
fries.
like fish and chips style, like.
Are chunky fries like steak fries?
I don't know what that means. Yeah,
I think a chunky fry is like, I think it's like a
It's like a steak fry.
It's the whole potato.
Like a steak fry.
It's the whole potato.
Like the KFC fries. Like the wedge fries?
A wedge. I think it's a wedge.
Yeah,
I'm with
asked
you on that.
earlier, is it like a potato wedge or like a steak fry or like?
So sorry, is this set in London with the accents, or did Gordon Ramsay just come? Because
I think I would have to say, if she's in like a Neko Maid costume, and if it's like a cat cafe, I think we're in Japan.
I need to Google what Neko Maid is.
Neko. Oh, don't please.
Please don't do that right now. Not without safe search on. I love that you brought that up, Phil, because I also had a question about that, which is, I was curious about your interpretation to give the same character a new accent every single time.
What are you talking about? My accent was, first of all, what accent? That's just my speaking voice.
You went through 3 accents in the last 5 seconds, so let's start there. But yes, it was fascinating because it was like from different parts of Britain.
Well, yeah, okay. I'm going to give you a line, and you're going to tell me how to say it.
No. There's no chance I know how to actually say them myself.
See, that's why I didn't critique this, Mark, because I know I can't do an accent. I said nothing. So I said nothing.
That would be great. Thanks. That would be great. Thanks. That sounds pretty good to me. That sounds. Is he English?
Thanks does not sound like it has the accent though.
That would be great. Thanks, love.
I don't think Gordon. So okay, I'm gonna make a. Can I make a confession?
Safe space, right?
Now it's my brother and I watch Gordon Ramsay's like Kitchen Nightmares all the time. I haven't seen him in months. We watch it all the time, and I feel like I've grown to really love Gordon Ramsay and wish he was like my motivational speaker in life, because he'd be like, what is this draft that you did? Expletive. It's like, did you shit out this draft? Yes, I did, Gordon Ramsay. I don't know. I love Gordon Ramsay, so I'm really happy you chose this passage.
From Zoraida's Wattpad page.
Yes, bro. Zoraida, are you Daddy Muffin?
I wrote Daddy Muffin.
Exposed.
I'm very excited that. Oh, sorry, Phil. Did you have a thought?
No, my only thought was that I really actually like him on TikTok, because he will go through and kind of critique people's TikTok cooking, and in sometimes funny ways. Sometimes he'll give compliments too, which is actually very nice. So he has a good little aesthetic on there if you want to go join him.
MasterChef Junior is delightful and actually motivational because he's so nice to the kids as opposed to when he's mean to the adults. I've cried watching what's his name? Gordon Ramsay. I've cried watching Gordon Ramsay when he flips restaurants and saves people from like destitution.
Destitution is a good thing to be saved from, especially by Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's the go. I'm getting a lot of signals from the Beyond the Veil that they really loved the Gordon Ramsay intersection with the Salon, and you guys are fortunate because I think the next reading may or may not excite you. So Mark, are you ready for your reading?
I think I was born ready.
I would argue that that's impossible, but yes, absolutely.
Perhaps in this case, it is possible. This is titled He. That's it.
I'm in.
If you're interested in looking up more by this author, their name is Gucci Paper Towel. Which I feel like it's like from a branding perspective is really smart because it gives you an idea right at the start. Like right at the start, you're like luxury, but also an everyday item that we use that maybe we shouldn't use because it's probably polluting the environment, but we're still going to use it anyway. And like I just feel like that juxtaposition, like I feel like that's the crux of art. Like that's art. It's art in and of itself.
I love I love the tension between things that are diametrically opposed. I'm with you on that.
Is that a dyad?
Yeah, that's what dyad
is. Is that a dyad?
I finally got it.
Is that a dyad?
Because now I understand it. Gucci Paper Towel is a dyad. Okay, cool. Glad we've come to that.
From the Star Wars universe.
Wait, I have a question. Ryan, is that your New York Rangers hockey vodka?
No, it's not my hockey vodka, although I do still have some hockey vodka left if anyone wants to come over and take a shot of hockey vodka. I thought it was football vodka because I didn't know the difference between the New York Rangers and the Patriots. Zoraida, we don't need to get into it. You don't need to bring it up every time you see me. Mark, go. We're moving on.
What is the difference between the Rangers and the Patriots? Like they just have different names. Is that the same sport?
Different names, different sports, different cities.
Hockey.
One's hockey, one's football. One's from New York, one's from Boston.
Football. Hold on, I'll go get it. You can see for yourself.
I'm so proud of you, Zoraida. I love what
Maya is watching.
Hi, Maya.
Look at this. Look at this. If you saw this quickly, you'd be like, look at that beautiful football vodka.
No, I mean, I still saw the logo quickly.
I hate that I'm going to say this, but
NHL.
Without it being like super close from a distance, it looks like a bottle of aftershave. Like the design wise.
Okay, I thought you were going to say something else, but that's good. Great.
Oh, well, okay.
Let's get on with the reading. Let's get on with the reading.
It definitely looks like that thing. Okay. So this is He by Gucci Paper Towel. For fuck's sake! Gordon Ramsay hollered at the young chef who had dropped the balsamic vinaigrette on the floor of his 5-star Michelin restaurant. Sorry, sir, Ragu trembled. Ragu, like the pasta sauce? It's their name. He bent down and... I probably should have read this ahead of time. He bent down and started licking the dressing off the white tile, being sure to get every last drop. Gordon shook his head and looked around at the other... Okay, I need to move my reading window so that it covers all your faces because I'm going to start laughing. Gordon shook his head and looked around at the other cooks in his restaurant kitchen, as opposed to a different type of kitchen. But anyway, they were working as hard as they could, sauteing steaks with sprigs of herbs, or herbs, as they would say over yonder, whisking together batter for the dessert of the night. I love how this so artfully reveals that the person has never cooked in their entire life. Anyway, and preparing on theme, are you ready? Lamb fillets, fresh from the farm just outside of town. I'm going to bring this dish out myself, since none of you crusty fuck waffles can. Gordon snatched a plate of salmon from the hands of a waitress and stormed out of the kitchen. The restaurant was filled with chatter and the aromas of various herbs and spices. Gordon walked briskly over to table number 9, holding the thick salmon fillet. It's THICC, just in case you were wondering. Right then, here we are. One beautiful salmon fillet. How's everything else? Great. Thank you, Chef Ramsay. The guest nodded in agreement. Gordon turned around.
Sorry, keep going.
Gordon turned around and was about to head back to the kitchen when a small voice piped up. My lamb is a bit underdone. A little boy. Okay. I've reached a point of no return with the story that I really
just keep going.
A little boy who looked suspiciously like Michael Jackson raised his hand. Right, let's see then. Lamb often looks redder than other meat. What the fuck? The lamb wasn't even cooked at all. The raw meat sat mushily on the plate with several bites. Those little shits! Gordon flipped the plate off the table, the meat falling at the feet of little Michael Jackson. He stormed back to the kitchen. He bust through double doors. Why is the lamb raw? Sir, the stove is broken. Provide that information. Okay. Sir, the stove is broken. So why did you send it out raw? He clapped his hands between. Oh, I didn't do it. Good question. Hold on. Sir, the stove is broken. Why did you send it out now? And raw. He clapped his hands between each word, emphasizing his anger issues. Ooh. That's great character work there. You told us to do it. Fine, fine. He rubbed his wrinkled ass forehead. Just get it out. It was now closing time at the restaurant. The cooks hung up their aprons. The guests wiped the last bits. This is what it says. I'm merely the messenger. The guests wiped the last bits of roasted Cardi B from their faces. I don't even want to know. And Gordon was already halfway home, speeding down the freeway and cursing the names of those who had failed him tonight. Is this a cannibal or is that a joke? I don't. Okay, anyway, we're moving on. And also, he was questioning the remarkable resemblance between Michael Jackson and that little bitch who ate 3 bites of raw lamb before realizing it wasn't cooked or seasoned for that matter. He soon was in the driveway.
Or seasoned for that matter. I love that that's the second part.
Right. He soon was in the driveway to his massive mansion, complete with a stone wall and a bubbling fountain of fucks he gives.
I love that.
It's not done.
Right. Gordon was lying in bed, rewatching episodes of Iron Chef. The skill these cooks possess could never match up to his own chefs. What a conundrum. That's beautiful. I'm going to attempt to imitate what this sound is trying to communicate, but it just says, Gordon's stomach let out a loud growl of hunger. He peered over at the clock, 10:57 p.m. This restaurant closed pretty early. Okay. Not too late for a little snack. He got up and went downstairs to the kitchen fridge and looked inside. The only thing that was prepared was a slice of lamb left over from the restaurant. He got a fork and went back upstairs to bed. Did he take the lamb with him? We don't know. Okay, all right. It's a mystery. There's got to be a mystery. You got to have a hook. You're a query writer.
It's didactic.
This is your 10 pages.
Was that it?
No, I'm almost done.
Could it be?
Okay.
Could this be the end? All right, okay. As he sat down on his bed to open the container of lamb, the room became quiet.
The room he was in alone?
It was very
sorry.
noisy. His eyes widened, his fists clenched. The lamb had no sauce. Where? He felt his blood began to boil. What? His fork fell to the floor. Where's the lamb sauce? The container of dry lamb was thrown to the floor, and that's a real passive sentence. And Gordon ran to the window. He opened it and yeeted himself 3 stories down to the earth, cursing the lamb as he fell. He hit the ground with an angry British thud.
Crikey!
All he saw before he blacked out was a vision of the lamb sauce in all its moistness and flavor, and the only place it could ever be found, Area 51. I love that there's a button underneath this that says continue reading next part, and I've never felt more tempted.
Yeah.
Where that is a cliffhanger.
I will never click that, but also I must click that.
That's incredible. Ending on. Oh, hold on. I have to update the banner. That Mark, really incredible work reading. Speaker and listener.
To do many things, and not do more things than you would do things. Like.
I just felt so seen by that passage. I'm just gonna transition to my lamb costume really quick. Because I felt just like I often feel like there's an angry British man looking upon me and saying, "Where's the sauce?" You know. So like,
this is okay.
Where is the sauce?
Where's the sauce? And then the Romeo and Juliet ask. Wait, I'm sorry. I have so many questions. First of all, the room got quiet when he opened up the lamb. Like what? Like the room with like
Iron
him
Chef.
and a piece of blue.
It was Iron Chef. It was loud.
Yes, exactly.
In the room.
That's what I was thinking.
So, I redact my question.
Psychic rage. He turned the television off. He was so angry at the sauceless lamb.
Wow.
That he turned the television off with his mind.
What do you think the significance is of the raw lamb being chewed by Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson lookalike, who also can't tell.
It wasn't actually.
They have to eat 3 bites of it, which I feel is a metaphor in and of itself. Some of us have to learn the hard way. We make the same mistake over and over, and it's only until that 3rd bite of raw, unseasoned, mushily lamb
that we're like, unseasoned.
Maybe I shouldn't do this.
You know, I mean, it was interesting. It was a compelling story. I don't know where to go from here.
You guys seem pretty speechless.
Area 51.
Oh my God! Wait, can I actually say that the ending of this for all that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Like when I write, I actually do think about where the twist or where the impact or where the punch is in a sentence, in a paragraph, in in a chapter, and somehow put adding a twist into the last 2 words of an entire story like that. Like we have a whole story, it's bananas, but then we get to the end and it's Area 51. That keeps the page turning. That's actually a great thing to do. There's a lot of momentum to that.
It makes me think about telenovelas, and I grew up with telenovelas as a kid, and there's a big conversation about character versus plot versus etc. And I do think that growing up in a medium which is you don't really get to breathe when it comes to when you're consuming something. You're oh my God, she's a twin. Oh my God, she has to get her twin's liver in order to survive. But that's not the actual twin. The actual twin is the other guy that she hates. I think that there's something to be said about defying expectation and how we can do that in our own writing.
It's so interesting because what you're talking about is this is what's happening on a story level, on an episode by episode basis. And what's so brilliant about this is this does it on a sentence level where 5 words into this, oh wait, what? Okay, we're going in this direction. I really think the first one. The first one is in sentence 3.
Yeah.
Sentence 3. Sorry, sir, Ragu trembled. Ragu, who never makes an appearance ever again.
Yeah, Ragu named and gone.
He bent down, and our expectation is you will clean it up. And the rest of the sentences, and started licking the dressing off the white tile, being sure to get every last drop, which I think suggests not only a power play at hand, but perhaps there is, a not YA appropriate conversation to be had about the proclivities that happen in that kitchen. In the restaurant. It's just there's like something around the corner, and that thing around the corner we're not going to talk about, but like it's there. It's just there.
Yeah. There's a richness to that story that is like, it's immediate. Like, because you disorient the reader right away with these details and then proceed to take them on a journey that like they're not expecting. And that to me, like that's a type of world building, right? When you're not like pointing at all the really obvious stuff, but just like disorienting. And I think it was done very effectively. I think that like the story of that reading it feels solid to me in a way that like some fantasy novels that I know that are published don't.
It's that thing where you like bring up a detail and then never reference it again or have it make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
it's a bold choice.
It's haunting.
It's haunting. It's haunting.
The ghosts never leave.
I need us to move from this topic.
Okay, all right.
I am so bewildered, overwhelmed.
I'm very shocked. I had several. I should have taken notes like Mark, because I had several. It was the whiplash.
Yeah,
for sure. I couldn't. Yeah.
The British thud, that to me, like that onomatopoeia at the end, I thought was incredible. Yeah. He hit the ground Britishly. I can hear that. I know exactly.
Did it apologize to the floor? Like, oh, I'm sorry, my lady.
Yeah, my lady.
My lady.
All right, so we're gonna move on from the readings, and as is customary in salons, after the hard work of inspiring. And by the way, if you all have questions, feel free to ghosts. If you have questions, feel free to enter them into the chat because we'll hopefully have some time for Q&A. But
the ghosts have entered the chat.
Ghosts have entered the chat. I'd like to. Are you guys up for a little game?
Yeah.
Always.
Okay, so the game that I have proposed for our salon today is called In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb. And how it works is we're going to draw from this little cup. And on these slips of paper are fantasy worlds or worlds in general that appear in books. And I want to know of the people at the salon, who would be able to lie their way through these worlds and survive versus who would be like out like a lamp right away because they just could not cut it in these worlds. Okay. Do you guys understand the rules?
Yeah, it's like Reverie. I do love that.
It actually is a lot like Reverie. I
think that's a good thing. Usually I make fun of it, but no, I think it works here.
Yeah. We're imagining like ourselves as we are now. Just get dropped in that world and how quickly. Okay, perfect. Okay, I get it.
Could we make it through?
Do I have like camping tools right now, or do you mean like me as right now?
No, you've got nothing. It's like you right now. You with the crown dropped into a world. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So our first world is Redwall. Redwall. The book Redwall. The series Redwall.
Oh God!
What is that?
Redwall? You don't remember Redwall? Where like all the animals, like it's all the animals, and they all like go to church together, and there's like a convent of like moles.
Imagine
that you're an animal in this. Like you're transformed into an animal for the purposes of the game.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
I'm an immigrant, and I don't know if I was in America when this came out.
I don't know if any of us were alive when it first. Isn't it? Predate.
Wait, no. This is 1999.
Redwall.
That's as an adaptation came out in 99. So the movie, it was 86 to 2011.
Speaking personally, I think that I would do great in Redwall because I spent many recesses as like a kid in elementary school forcing my friends to collect acorns for the hard winter ahead. We were always collecting for the hard winter ahead.
Yeah.
So I think I would do well in this. I think I'm a lion in this.
I'm also a lion. I love Raquel brought up the point, me as the Pine Marten Redwall. I have already established the answer for this question earlier in the salon, and I did not even know that I was doing it.
Look at you. Yes, you're ready.
Right.
Zoraida Phil?
I see that there is a mouse, as there's a rat in the picture of it, so I would do well.
Rat King.
Rat King. Absolutely. Hey, you already have the crown. So you're good. I would not do well because I have no idea what happens in this world. But it looks fun. So,
Phil, I think you would do okay because I feel like you're pious with a conniving backside.
Yeah. That's yeah.
All right, our next world is a Christian-inspired fantasy portal realm like Narnia.
Narnia.
I'm crushed and murdered. I have a bad religion crossbuster on my neck. I'm murdered in the first 30 seconds.
Mark, you're done. You're out.
There's no way. There's no way. Like, I walk up and Aslan's just like, yo, what? What are you doing?
Aslan, by the way.
Yeah, Phil would kill you. Phil and you would enter together and Phil would kill you.
No,
Phil,
I am absolutely Aslan. I could do this. I could come in.
I
know
would.
Bible enough for this, I think.
Yeah.
I would take all of my catechism class and seduce the prince of this world and then reign over everybody. So I think I would do well.
I think
so. It would be me versus Z at the end, really.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I would be a little goat person and I would be killed in Act 1. I'd have hooves and I'd die.
But you would introduce the humans to the world.
No. I think you would at least have to go in Act 3. Like, your death motivates everyone else. Like, you're the motivation.
Yes.
Ooh, you're like the innocent character who is just like, what if you're like the Christian version of a himbo, but you're a goat? You're like a goat.
Not the Christian himbo.
Christian himbo.
You know, like you're like the character who's like nice and everyone really likes and you aspire, but you're the one who's like a sacrificial lamb, so to speak.
Yes.
Who dies
Oh my God.
everyone.
You know why? Because the only world in which I'm innocent is the hyper-Christian realm, in which like I'm not allowed, like queer people aren't allowed to have any sort of interest. So we're all just like, wow, I love art, right? Like that would I agree with this. I agree with this.
I was gonna say you could be gay, Mr. Chumness, but in SNL, Mr. Chumness is already gay. Like James McAvoy did the skit where he's like gay, Mr. Chumness.
Yeah,
it's worth watching.
If you're a weird gay himbo lamb,
I love this. My new pronouns are gay himbo lamb, Christian himbo lamb.
A limbo, you could be a limbo.
All right, our next world.
I like it.
Okay. Oh, this one's a long one. Wizard high school with no plumbing or trans people.
I'm gonna get more wine while we think about this.
As a resident non-binary person, that's just a disaster. I'm out.
Mark, you and I were out right away. We don't get to go.
The way it's written, like high school without bathrooms or trans people, it's like, okay, oh my God, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
No, the thing is, you would be there, and you would be written in, like, it would be like kind of backtracked. Like, it'd be like 12 years later, it'd be like, yes, they flourished there. Of course they did.
They had a great time.
Yeah, they had a great time. Everyone was accepting. That's why we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Or we could take this another route, which is I'm the one who survives by like trying to blend in and then slowly manipulating the world and changing it so that by the end of the series, it's completely unrecognizable from where it started.
That's what I did. That's what I did. That's what I did to the pre-Christian world. So, yeah.
So you guys are saying you'd be lions in this world?
I would be a lion.
I don't want to be. I would prefer not to. I would be like, let me go to the high school with the bathrooms and trans people.
Look, guys, I'm saying I would be a lamb in this because I wouldn't even make it to the school. The second I heard on like the brochure, the school brochure, that I have to cast a spell on my asshole to get rid of poop, I would leave. I'm not going. I'm not going to go. I'm gonna homeschool. I'm a follower. I would definitely do it. I'd be like, well, that's what everyone does. Like, okay.
Can you believe that we got bamboozled into wanting to go to a magic school without a toilet?
Yeah. I can believe it. I was ready to fall for anything.
Are you so Ryan, you're saying you're not gonna use the Vanish Me Poopum spell?
Yeah, obviously, where else would it go? But there's at least a bathing room where they do other stuff. So why do you need this spell? Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I changed to vodka now because of these horrible questions.
They're not horrible questions. These are worthwhile questions.
Are you actually familiar with the Vanish Me Poopum Tumblr post?
No. Oh my god.
Okay.
No.
I have to
quit Tumblr after they removed
it once a day. Like every day,
Yes.
I think about how this is the greatest thing Tumblr ever gave us. So someone just, this was like years ago, they said, just imagine you're taking a test for potions with Snape, and the guy sitting next to you just shits himself the nastiest, slimiest shit of his life out of stress, and you literally have to sit there with a straight face while Todd Jingle Jangles cleans himself up in the dead quiet room with some stupid-ass line like, vanish me poopum. And you just gotta live with the knowledge that some kid just shit himself beside you during a test. That was after that they relieved themselves wherever they stood.
Yeah, this is really where the canon like jumped the shark. Like where I mean, like all of it was absurd. Everything that was said back to, you know, a certain headmaster being gay, like off the cuff, like in 2010 or whatever. Anything after that, I just didn't really understand. But this was the one that stands out in my mind as like, why?
Do you want to know
spiteful. It's pure spite.
Do you want to know how much this has affected me? And I'm so glad you focused on this, Raquel. When I don't know how to name a character in a book, I just name them Todd Jingle Jangles, and then I look for it. And
Shut up.
I thought you were going to say that every time you flush the toilet, you say "vanish me poopum" or something.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I do.
I don't go that far. But Todd Jingle Jangles lives in my heart, lives in my mind, rent free. That's a post like a decade old, and I think about it. I write. I literally write.
Yep. This is
same
too much. I broke a sweat listening to that Tumblr post. It's horrible.
I want to tell Esther, who says that they've been looking at a vodka bottle for the longest time, thinking whether or not to drink it. You should, and join me.
Now's the time.
Yeah, look,
and just move this back to the very beginning of the show, play it again, and get on our level, because.
Yeah, exactly. Agree.
Oh wait, my hair's stuck in my brain.
So wait, there's one thing I want to say. Like, this is literally what we would be talking about if we were hanging out in person. Because I've been in person with all of you. This is the kind of deranged crap that we talk about. So like, this really is not too far off. Like, this is not a big show. No. I'm sure Ryan just dresses like that for normal occasions.
Which we also know that they do.
Yeah. That's true.
Ryan, we've been on retreat together, and I feel like you're getting to know how my mind works. So this is pretty standard.
Yeah, I was watching your drunk book report recently because I'm working on Victoria Lee's drunk book report, and it remains one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Also lives rent free in my mind. I have watched it
incredible
times.
If you have not watched my drunk book report, first of all, I'm going through like the Greek myth stuff, and I just reordered a copy of Serena by Donna Jo Nabali, hoping that I finally get the original cover. So if you want to listen to me talk about mermaid anatomy and the book that like made me an author, you should watch this drunk book report with Ryan La Sala being my interviewer.
I just put it in the chat. It is the funniest things. All of my YouTube videos have like, you know, like a few hundred views, and this one has like close to like 1,000. It's like by and large the most popular thing I've ever posted.
Yeah. because Danielle has watched it 1,000,000 times.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it's for me and Danielle. Am I wrong in remembering that Victoria Lee also makes an appearance in that video?
Yes, as Victoria Lee appears as the local Macedonian briefly in the episode. Yeah. Even though I'm like the Greek person, and like we like pan to her, and it's like local Macedonian, Victoria Lee, citation needed.
It's okay. I need you.
What's our next world?
I need more of these.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm mixing them up. Okay. The next place we're going is Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know what this is. I've heard of it.
God.
I don't know know what.
So Kingdom Hearts is like Final Fantasy anime plus like Disney World. It's about like these anime characters that have to go to like Disney World. So it's basically it's like a meta version of this game. Like could you get dropped into like Cinderella and like survive?
I'll seduce a prince. That's fine.
That makes you a villain. That's not.
Yeah, that always ends up making you the villain in Disney movies.
Yeah,
you can't seduce.
But then it still strives. They still technically make it to the end. Like they may not survive at the end, but like they make it most of the rest of us.
So the point of Kingdom Hearts is to keep the world order. And I don't think you would do that, Z. Like, I think you would throw it off balance in a way that, because you would survive. And they would be like, wait, something's wrong here.
Yeah,
and then
Zoraida, you're dead. You're done. You'd be...
Some dummy with the Keyblade is going to...
Sora would kill you with the Keyblade.
I know what it is because I have friends who are obsessed with it. So I know about it, but I have never played a Final Fantasy game or a Kingdom Hearts game at all. And I believe I am too chaotic as a human being because I actually changed. I was like, let me wear something nice. It's a Salon. But I was actually wearing a shirt for the anime Neon Genesis Evangelion, which is one of my favorites, but it's stylized like the Garfield logo. And Garfield fans love it until they get close and they're like, but that's not a Garfield. And then anime fans will read it and be like, but why is Garfield on it? And I just never answer either of them. So I feel like I just on that alone would never. I'm too chaotic.
I actually think that's like the exact amount of chaos that you need to like survive in Kingdom Hearts because it is as mishmashy as that. Mark, I think you do.
It absolutely.
So I maintain that you would die immediately.
I will be right back. See it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do show and tell real quick before Mark does. This is the original strategy guide for the PlayStation 2 game, which from my high school, years that I just have here hanging out.
That's incredible. I have that as well. It's like a prized possession.
Here's Zoraida.
Yes!
This is Zoraida turning into a dragon. So yeah, I mean, you would fit in the world for a while.
Phil, who would be heartless, who would be nobody, and who would be unversed? I think Zoraida would be heartless, Mark would be nobody, and then I think I would be unversed.
Yeah, I think you would be nobody because they walk like this.
Oh yeah, you're right. They are really
and they skate around and they're really goofy. Not to be confused with Goofy, who's actually in the game.
Who's actually in the game as well, yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's very confusing.
Wait, before I show the shirt, what is Goofy's power? Like, what are they?
He has a shield. Yeah.
So basically, it's like Sora is the strength, like the sword, but it's a keyblade, is what they call it. And then Goofy is the shield, and then Donald is the mage, so he has a staff.
Okay.
Wait, let's see the shirt. Let's see the shirt.
What? But now I need to know: is Goofy's son in this?
No, he doesn't make an appearance at all.
No.
Wait,
but Pluto does.
Power line? There's no power line. None of that.
No, that would be a great world, though.
That would be a good world. Kingdom Hearts 4, here we come. Yeah, Cage 4, let's hear it.
Goofy movie.
Oh, it literally is a Garfield shirt with Neon Genesis Evangelion. That is the weirdest shirt.
Yeah, I have a thing for weird Garfield shirts because I remember that Maya has seen this one. I also have this one, but I don't wear it a lot because I've had people threaten to hurt me because it's a very spicy shirt. So I'm just gonna say, be prepared.
Okay, the Salon's ready. Oh, I love it.
What does that mean?
Fun. Wait, you don't know what ACAB means?
So.
Have you been on Twitter for the past year?
I was gonna say it's all cops are pigs, but that was a beast. So is it bad?
Bastards.
Bastards. Okay.
Yeah. Even your dad.
Even your dad.
Spicy shirt.
Even your dad really just makes it. It just
that's yeah.
I love you using Garfield as a conduit to deliver political messages.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna do. So, are you guys ready for the next world? And by the way, ghosts, if you've got questions, feel free to enter them in the chat because after this, we're gonna do a little Q&A. Okay. But one more world while people ask their questions. I don't like that one. Hold on.
Didn't you create them?
You made them.
Okay. All right, here we go. A chaste Mormon vampire fantasy in the Northwest United States.
I would seduce. No, you're just kidding. You can't seduce them because they're all.
I would die immediately in this. I would be dead in seconds. I would be the sacrificial kill to like start. I would be the instigating incident. I would be done.
I'm basically Jacob, so that's not happening. Though not correct. In the first book, there is one that she calls them Hispanic American, but one Latino in the entirety of the series until like some of the later vampires or whatever.
Yes,
is an all-American Hispanic smile, which doesn't. I don't know what that is.
No. I thought you meant that the guy who tries to rape Bella is Latino.
Yep, and he has an all-American Hispanic smile.
That's so. Wait, really? I did not know this.
Yeah, I think we're thinking.
Oh my God.
No. We're thinking of two different characters. I read Midnight Sun, and in Midnight Sun, Edward goes after the guy who tried to rape Bella in the alley, the guys, and the ringleader, who's the only Latino character in the first book, is named like Hector Gonzalez or something like that.
Yeah, like I would appear in that book and they would be like, "Oh, look at this new student at school, Tortilla." Like that would be my name.
But he's not named. He's not named in Twilight. He's only named in Midnight Sun.
Yeah,
Do you
not
call
that.
yourself
By the way.
Tortilla Mole?
So she had time to
Frijoles.
retcon him.
Get my name right.
She had time to make him something else, and she did it.
For the record, ladies and gentlemen, there is no one named
Diversity.
Please don't go away from this thinking that's actually Twilight. Not.
I can't stand Tortilla Frijole. That is
That's my drag name.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Phil, I feel like you'd be fine in the Twilight world.
Tonight
I mean,
like
I'm very pale, so I feel like I would fit in a little bit, but
Yes,
But
yes, me.
you don't have to go in the sun. Right. No, because she did say like whatever. Oh my God. Okay.
What?
what?
Journey happening.
It's a journey in my mind.
Zoraida is in deep space right now.
Deep space. I'm in outer space. I think I would survive. I would survive and conquer.
This is what you say to everything.
world
Yeah, so
I'm gonna seduce
every
the
single
Prince of
world.
Twilight, and then I'm gonna conquer the world.
At least
The Prince of Forks.
y'all.
Yeah,
I appreciate the artistic commitment to one answer to every question.
I love it though. You would find a way. Life finds a way.
You would. I
Life
believe it.
Life finds a way.
Like Zoraida finds a way. I don't see any questions in the chat, so we're gonna do one additional one. If you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. We'll stick around for a little while, but yes, we are hoping to wrap up by like 9-ish Eastern time. That's when the salon officially ends, but we'll do one more world, and then we'll call it a night. Last, we have the Hunger Games.
I'm going to actually answer for Zoraida because Zoraida would be out because if all of you just watched her try to put that berry onto her spoon and then into her mouth. Her motor skills at this point are fairly low, so I'm going to guess.
She would not make it to the cornucopia at all.
She'd be out during training, like one of the early training montages. They'd be like, drink this drink. And she'd be like, I don't know how. And somehow she's out. And her
no, I think Zoraida would. I think like the tests would be stacked in such a way that Zoraida would get like points ahead of time. Like they would be like, is this hockey or football? And Zoraida would be like, hockey. And they'd be like, wow, our most talented tribute. And then
yeah, big target.
big target.
Yeah. I would flourish as part of the Capitol. I'm just going to go in there. I infiltrate the Capitol, seduce the prince. And
what prince?
Yes!
No, I'm just saying, President Snow. I'm going to seduce him. Did anyone read the prequel?
No. I love how you even were
I
like
did.
President Snow's son. President
Oh,
Snow.
that I should do. Well, does he have a son? I don't think he has children.
I don't think
Oh, he
so.
does. Anyway.
No, he has grandchildren.
He has offspring.
So
because he has grandchildren, but I don't know about his
little baby grandchildren.
He actually just had grandchildren. He skipped actual children. Like, he just went straight to grandchildren.
He can do that. He's the president.
Yeah. I actually want to my answer, because of the four of us, the only one who could actually survive in the wilderness is Zoraida.
That's true. Yes, actually, Zoraida would do a good job once in the wilderness, but Zoraida, you would not survive all of the things, but like the interview, all of that stuff, you would.
I would be like the crowd favorite in the interviews because I could just say whatever, and Zoraida would be like, "I'm gonna kick everyone's ass," and then yes, we need to join forces. That's the only way we're both getting out of this, because otherwise you're going to be the biggest target for being the strongest, because I'm not the strongest. And I'll just be an idiot on camera wearing a lion shirt. I already have my clothes.
I think I would be the Caesar Flickerman of like the Hunger Games. That would be my role. Yeah. I think I would get a lot of, if I was a tribute, I would get like a lot of like schmoozing dollars. Like people would send me a lot of things, but I would be like, I would like die among the many gifts being parachuted onto my dead body in the Hunger Games. Like people would send me stuff and I would not know what to do with it, and I would be a big waste of time. It's how I think I would survive.
A big waste of time.
Huge waste of time.
Power.
I don't is there like a court jester version of a character in the Hunger Games? Because that's about the only role I feel like. Like I would show up with like pithy statements on like shirts that are like modeled after like the
Senna. You'd be like the designer.
Trinket.
Yeah, but Senna is too serious.
Yeah, Effie.
Yeah, Senna actually had talent, so no offense.
You would be Effie Trinket, basically.
Oh my god, Marcus Effie Trinket makes complete sense.
I get it.
We have completed the Hunger Game.
That's it. Yeah, it's Effie.
We've got every single character.
Do I have a Hamish?
Actually,
Clarabelle's playing Hamish.
Can I double? I could double as Hamish. Because I feel like Hamish.
I'm feeling
like
a big Hamish vibe right now.
It was like, is that cherry gonna make it in your mouth? That's very Hamish. Maybe you're my Hamish.
I am your Hamish.
Oh, incredible. Oh man. Do you guys want to do one more world and then call it quits?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see what we've got left. Our last one will be.
What's that sound?
Our last one is any John Green novel.
Oh my god. The moment I've been waiting for.
Any John Green novel.
Any John Green novel.
Phil, you're silent. You're muted. We can't hear you, Phil. Oh, is this like an act? You're like, I'm in a John Green novel. I'm mute. It's my.
I have no voice.
All right, we can hear you now.
I mean, I think I would absolutely make it through because, I write contemporary YA, and people love to make comparisons of like anyone who writes contemporary YA that like the teens are a little too self-aware, and my teens are very self-aware. I'm not personally, but I can make it work.
You know what teens were also self-aware before John Green? Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also adults.
Really a similar vibe.
They're in their 20s.
But they were not written that way, okay? I'm talking about the writing, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't write. I don't do that. That's not my bad.
Precocious enough to be in a John Green. novel.
I think I
You
am
have to be
pretentious.
proud of
I think as a teenager, I was pretentious enough to be in a John Green novel.
No, precocious, not pretentious.
But both of those things, like I think I was precocious and pretentious. Yeah,
I feel like I could be the
I
best.
agree.
Like
You're the best.
Like the best friend role, like the supporting person who has like much less of a. I really don't like that the motivational speaker thing came up while I'm talking just complete bullshit. Like
Motivational speaker.
anything that I'm saying, they're like, you are a motivational speaker. Ball of rats.
All of rats. Love it.
Ball of rats. Ball of rats.
King of rats. I think that I would, if I survived the John Green novel, I would survive. No. I was going to say looking for Alaska, but then if I was like, if I were Alaska, I would have died because.
yeah,
spoiler.
you die tragically.
I mean, it's really the only role that any of us would want to play.
Well, looking for Alaska takes actually, like, to me, I had just, when I was in college, I read it, and I had just read Lolita. And the style of it, it's like part 1 before, part 2 after. So it's like life before this girl and life before this girl have affected me, and then life after this girl no longer exists. Right. And so the structure reminded me a lot of like Nabokov.
Yeah.
And then so I don't know if I would survive that because 1, I would have never willingly chosen to go to private school because we had no money. 2, I was like, okay, maybe I could do like Looking for Alaska, but then I'm like, not Looking for Alaska. I just said that. The Fault in Our Stars.
Okay.
The Fault in Our Stars.
All right, yeah, let's hear.
But then in The Fault in Our Stars, I'm like, nobody cares about brown people that are sick the way that they care about white people that are sick. So, like, I would not survive that either. But neither of them
also nobody survives in that.
The end.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they both die at the end, quote, not written by Adam Silvera. Like, thank you for listening to my tangent.
This thought, wait, I love this comment from Raquel, which is Zoraida can't survive John Green novels because there's nothing worth conquering. Because like your modality is like you're always taking over. You're like, I'm Maleficent, I'm that bitch. But you can't walk into a John Green novel because everyone would be like, oh, okay, like here, take our stakes. Because they're all like internal and interior. And, like there's nothing to actual I love this comment.
Maya said there are no princes to seduce. Correct.
It's true.
Yeah.
I also love that you said, oh, here, take our stakes, because you unknowingly made a correct pun, which is you meant like emotional stakes, like whatever they are. But Zoraida will also take your steaks because Zoraida enjoys consuming meat quite a bit. And so she would
Yeah.
Lamb steaks.
Lamb steaks, chonky fries.
Yeah, chunky fries. But the lamb steaks have to sit mushily on a plate, which is an adverb.
Oh, I am so glad that you brought that up because we didn't talk about the adverb mushily. I can't wait to write that into my next manuscript.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're fired.
How does my brain sit in my skull? Mushily.
Mushily,
Absolutely.
yeah, I am
At the
mushily.
At the end of the day, I don't know what words are. Do you all get that? I have a point. It's usually around like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I can't do words. The words are gone. They don't make sense. I can't speak because I've been writing all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't write all day, so
I don't write, so I don't do that.
I'm like I'm 3 days behind my work. So I'm gonna figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Well, look, I hope that you guys absorbed the inspiration from this salon. Do you feel energy and like ready to go? Because I certainly feel back in my groove. Like I could just write 1,000 words right now.
I don't think I could do it right now, but I do think that like it's given me something really. It's like alleviating a pressure in my soul, because tomorrow I can restart the day.
Yeah, you're a lion right now, but tomorrow a lamb. My costume's like falling apart. Amazing. Well,
Your costume is falling apart. Is it made out of cotton balls?
It's made out of garbage and socks. These are my favorite socks that I cut holes into so that I could use them as like pop hats. Look, I'm literally dressed in garbage and like a headband. Anyhow, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for coming to these. Thank you to our lovely guests, to Phil, Zoraida, and Mark. It is a joy to have you. You guys are a fucking riot. This was so much fun. And I will say, by the way, everyone, I just recently, so you're hearing it here first, the April 2021 Salon has been put up. So if you want to do this again, I've just put it in the chat. You can attend our salon next month. It's going to be featuring Catcho. April is going to be Catcho and Kosoko and Clarabelle. Maybe if those people unkidnap her, and Phil, maybe if Phil can find another shirt. And the theme of the April Salon is going to be April's Fools and Satan's Tools. So get ready.
That is Zoraida in a phrase.
My tongue is really purple.
I noticed that.
Yeah, and Zoraida will probably make a guest appearance as like our drunk conqueror. So feel free to tune back in. But if you guys can feel free to, I mean, it's free again. So grab your tickets and tell a friend, and we will see you back here for the April Salon. But thank you everyone for coming. This was so much fun. Yes, everyone give your best cry for help because the salon's done. Oh yes. All right. Bye y'all.
Bye.